Sanchez, and welcome to the Natural Plant Protection Podcast, the biological technology show where size matters. We believe the secrets to solving some of the biggest development challenges in the world can be found in some of the smallest naturally occurring technologies. This week, we're looking at the power of collaboration. In a funny way, collaboration is also a way of working that we've borrowed from the natural world. I remember when I was at school and we learned about crabs carrying poisonous sea urchins on their backs. The urchins get a free ride and the crabs are safer from predators. There are countless examples of symbiotic relationships in the natural world. So when we think about how we work with the food system, it helps to be collaborative. Our experience has shown that innovation and progress cannot happen in a vacuum, especially in something as complex as the food system. So tackling the joint challenges of climate change, economic resilience, farmer livelihoods, and and food security requires a joint effort. Joining me today to discuss collaboration is Florent Clair. Florent, welcome to the NPP podcast.
Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, so Florent is the head of Partnerships for Sustainability, P4S program within UPL. Based in Ivory Coast in West Africa, Florent is leading a new initiative to place partnerships at the heart of sustainable agricultural development, and biosolutions are central to his mission. So Florent, today we're looking at the micro power of partnerships and some of the collaborations where micros have led the way for sustainable agricultural production in the developing world. Can you tell us a bit about P4S and the micro power of partnership?
Sure. Thank you so much, Dan. It's great to be here. So P4S actually stands for Partnerships for Sustainability. And I'm going to explain a bit the whole purpose and background for this initiative that was launched about 2 years ago now. So, you know, UPL has about 40 plus years of presence in Africa, and our business model is based on an integrated portfolio of inputs and services for all sorts of crops cultivated on the continent. But the vast majority of our end user clients are smallholder farmers here in Africa, which means they have very limited financial resources, quite low literacy. So the mission of P4S here is double. First of all, have the largest impact possible on a high number of farmers, be able to reach out to a high number of them. And the second aspect of our mission is to introduce sustainable technologies and farmer practices in their daily farming practices, basically. So I will explain how and why those two aspects require very strong partnerships to be effective. So the thing is, smallholder farmers have a very strong and legitimate aversion for innovation. They are very smart micro entrepreneurs who know how to manage risks. But to be honest, in their daily lives, there is much more risks than opportunities. When you know that failing your crop will automatically mean either less food on the table, less kids at school, or less medical care, you tend to be extra careful on any innovation that you want to try. So our role at UPL is to demonstrate on site in front of them the proof of the concepts and the effective return on investment that they can get from the technologies and the practices that we are promoting. And when you are actually dealing with thousands of farmers, small farmers scattered in very remote locations, this demonstration has a huge cost. So at our level, we do provide some level of training on good agricultural practices, safe use of products for the user, for the environment. We set up demonstration plots, but at some point we need partners. We need partners to help us with extension, training, monitoring, and evaluation. So as to be able to reach a large number of farmers and have impact at scale. So we need partners, one, for that, to have an impact on these extension aspects. And we also need partners to develop the right technologies that are adapted to the African farmers context, which means they have small plot size, they need specific dosage, they need also affordable products. And so we need also partners who are able to develop these technologies that are African proof, let's say, and smallholder farmer proof, and who trust in UPL for our capacity to distribute them on the field. Thank you.
Yeah, so for those micro entrepreneurs, how do biosolutions fit into their equation? How do you see that work with sustainable agriculture?
Well, yeah, biosolutions are an essential piece of UPL sustainability strategy, as they clearly represent the future of agricultural inputs. They are safe and effective solutions that have the power not only to trigger additional levels of yield, but also help the plants cope with the most recent challenges, adverse climate, eroded soils and fertility, even resistance, pests and disease. So our role is to make these technologies available, accessible and affordable for the farmers. And it's quite a big challenge because as we speak, biosolutions are not very well known, or they are not the concept, even the concept of a biosolution is not very well grasped by the smallholder farmers. They know about crop protection, they know about fertility, but when you talk about stress management, when you talk about improved nutrition capacity, improved photosynthesis capacities, this is a totally different concept. So this is quite a challenge to introduce these technologies, but it's also our responsibility to introduce these technologies to them, because they clearly represent the future of agriculture.
Yeah, I'd love to know more about your experience when you're bringing a new product to a farmer or to the market. What is it like launching a biosolution in Africa?
So usually we like to divide our approach in 3 steps. We first need a very deep and clear training on what is this product about, what is the mode of action, what is the technology, and what will it bring to your field, what will it change. So we do some level of training, not necessarily directly with the farmers, but we can start with, say, technicians or people who are here on the field to deliver extension or support the farmers. So we first try to train them very well, and also train their off-taker, the food chain partner with who they work with, and to whom they are going to sell on their harvest at the end of the day. So that's the first step. The second step is the proof of concept. As I was saying in the first answer, we need to demonstrate the efficacy of our product, and they need to see the results by themselves on the field. And this is where we need to multiply the number of demonstration sites to be effective. Once you have reached that second step and you have been able to demonstrate your concept and show the clear return on investment, not only for the farmers, but also for his off-taker, for the partner he works with, then the last step is to scale out. And to scale out, you need also additional resources in terms of monitoring and evaluation, because it's quite easy, I would say, to make sure that the product has been applied correctly on a small demonstration plot that is very much under control. But when it comes to smallholder farmer replication at their end, it becomes more tricky, and you do want to make sure that the first day he uses your product, he uses it correctly, so that he can truly benefit from the added value of the product, and which means also use it correctly, protecting the environment and himself, and also applying it at the right dosage at the right time in his crop to make sure he has the best benefits. So we have several examples that I can share on that if you want.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more. So, NPPs, some of their most exciting products have been co-created or scaled through partnerships with other companies. So, can you tell me more about the role that those partnerships have played in product development, like Voligen or Bonsai?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, here the role of partnership was critical. To start with Bonsai, maybe Bonsai was quite a revolution. It's actually the first biostimulant for cocoa that was developed by Croda, Plant Impact to be very precise. It was developed about 8 years ago or so, and we had to run many tests to make sure that the product was effective. And at first, we needed to find the right positioning for this product. Is it going to be a biostimulant? Is it going to be a biofungicide? So that was the first step in discussing with Croda and Plant Impact. And then, so we decided to launch the first biostimulant for cocoa. And we thought this could have a great impact on the farmer's living income, and also would be a very nice piece of the puzzle for sustainability strategies that cocoa exporters, that the cocoa manufacturers were implementing in origin countries like Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana, where they are seeking to improve farmer livelihoods and also protect the forest. So we decided to launch it as the first biostimulant. But then figure out that it came with two separate bottles of 800 milliliters that needed to be applied 4 times on the same field, and with 2 times 800 milliliters per hectare. So it was not easy. So first you needed to show the farmer that this product will deliver actually 30 to 40% yield increase, which is very true and impressive, but at first he wouldn't believe it. Then you need to explain that this product has an additional cost, of course, for you, and you need to apply it 4 times, which means also labor costs, additional labor costs. It's not small. 4 treatments for a smallholder farmer. A cocoa farmer usually treats his plots like 3 times a year, maybe, and you're asking now 4 additional more sprays. So that's like wow. And even more specifically, you're asking me to treat my farm at a time of a year where I usually don't go to my cocoa farm. I usually spend more time in my rice farm or in my veggies farm at this time of the year. So it was really a challenge. So after some time, we discussed with the cocoa industry partners and Plant Impact, and say, guys, we need to find a way to make the farmers' life easier if we want them to really grasp all the benefits of the bonsai technology. So we first came with this idea of a mini pack. So the mini pack is like a dose for one sprayer. So meaning that he doesn't need to have very complicated measurement of it, 800 millimeters. He needs to split into 4. So we did the mini pack. So it's 200 mils. So he just needs to pour in his tank, and the mix is okay. He can go and spray. So that was the first improvement. And then we asked Croda and Plant Impact to work on an improved formulation, to have one single formulation. And with that single formulation, we also did some new tests to see if we could reduce the number of applications and have the timing of the application coincide with other operations that the farmer already had. Saying, for example, he has to spray his fungicide or his insecticide at a certain point in the year. So we want him to be able to spray the bonsai at the same time, so he doesn't have additional labor costs. So that's how we came with the new bonsai bonus formulation, which is the bonsai, the V2 of the bonsai. And that was a clear improvement because we could get the feedback from the farmers, from the field, and then adapt our product. And this is only possible when you have great collaboration with your partners. Now, the second example that you are bringing is also quite similar. The FoliGen example. The FoliGen technology was developed by an Australian firm called AgBiTech, who are the world leader in nucleopolyhedral virus. So the FoliGen is a biocontrol for fall armyworm made out of a natural virus. Okay. But when AgBiTech asked us to distribute the product, they only have either 20-liter packaging or 1-liter packaging. And the dosage for the maize farmer is 100 mils per hectare, meaning even with 1 liter, you could spray 10 hectares. But we say, hey guys, our average maize farmer here in West Africa only has between 1 and 1.5 hectare. So what is it going to do with 1 liter? We need smaller package. So we actually decided to buy the 20 liters and repack it ourselves in Ivory Coast. So we have a small plant for packaging, and we bought these very tiny bottles of 100 mils actually that will be useful for 1 liter for 1 hectare. Sorry, for 1 hectare spray. And the other innovation we brought is that this small bottle also have a secondary tank where the farmer can actually measure exactly how many milliliters he wants to pour in his spraying tank, because some maize farmers do 20 sprayers per hectare, some others do 4 to 5 sprayers, so they cannot put the same dosage in their tank. So we had to again be very innovative and flexible on the approach to make sure that the launch of this product is a success. Because as I said, biosolutions are already a big step for smallholder farmers, so you need to make their life as easy as possible.
I love how you highlight the partnerships both with the farmer to get the inputs into what the product should be designed to do, but then also the partnership with the supplier and collaborator on how to give that technology to the farmer in the best way possible. It's great examples. So I think that may be all the time that we have. So thank you, Florent.
Yeah, no, my pleasure, Dan. I could go on for hours saying how UPL is working with smallholder farmers, and I truly believe in the power of biosolutions, and so happy to have the new NPP brand now. I hope it will give us more grease and more power to change the life of the farmers. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for your introduction to P4S and the micro partnerships from farmers to multinationals that are scaling up these interventions, catalyzing the introduction of new technologies and making change really happen. So it's another great example of where collaborations, however small, can amplify our ability to help this planet. You can learn more now of NPP's work with micropower and macro impact at www.npp.ag. So thank you.